Totally frustrating. Let's go do that. Hey everybody. This video is super awesome. Oh, let's see here. Makeup, powder, too dark. It's okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh no, the wrong one. So this video has got some serious awesome. It's being a jerk. Please don't be a jerk. I love you. Picked it. I just picked the one that I wanted. Jerk face. It's all no. Okay. It's about slowly going, because this is what we got to see is what's in the sky. So I'm gonna actually back it up. Okay, so squiggly line, go away. There we go. They do. They hand me stuff too, because how are you going to hand somebody something if you don't have hands? You're going to hold it with their nose and stuff, you know, like, it's not a joke. I've from Mars, and that's relevant now with Atlas doing what Atlas is doing. Do you know that Atlas is connected to the WOW signal? Yeah, it's connected to the WOW signal. And so am I. I'm connected to the WOW signal. Ooh. Okay, so this is something else. It's got this, like, that's too close. Red and orange and pink, kind of like slithery. Let's go some. Okay, so I should probably even like. It's only skipping it 1 second at a time. Do you see this? Something else. Oh my god! I don't want to take too long because I want to keep your guys' attention, but there's a whole lot going on in there. Yep. Let's see here. Where's the thing? Okay. So this is a video, by the way. Let's just play it for a little bit. There you go, because I can always back it up. It's just dumb sound effects. It's shoveling dirt as usual. Look at this. Okay, but watch. Stop it. There we go. Okay, it's pretty awesome. Yep. This goes for you. Oh, it is doing it 5 seconds at a time. Oh, I don't. Sorry, my bad. I forgot to fix this. That's better. Yeah, there we go. That's every second. Yep. Yep. It's like the creature thing that described like the ugliest, craziest looking creature or something in the Bible, I guess. What the? Yep. Okay, now remember, this is a video. Okay, this is a video. Uh-oh, this is a comment for sure. Okay, now, dear, I do not have my glasses. It's dark in this room. I'm going to apologize up front. I'm not going to read that right now because I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Oh my God, that's a scary looking face. Like, it can look like a lot of things. I'm not gonna go there, but yeah. Yep. Whoa. See all the color? So the color is living in this medium. It's alive as we speak. Yep. And I've proven it to myself, and I've been doing this for many, many years. But it's even talked about, like, so I've got a couple videos on it. Thermodynamic equilibrium, we got, the conversation about photons. It's as if mankind, like the male dominant people, have a problem with photons because they live like forever, and electrons are like jealous or something. Them and their protons, but it's true. When you intercept a photon, it gets caught in this medium, so it's still there, just like in a photograph is going to be developed, right? So, but how do you develop a photograph in a digital medium? I don't know. I don't know how to develop them in an analog medium myself. I can't wait to learn how to do that. But so I figured that's what started it. I went to the photo options and started playing with the filters, And what I found is that in every single photographic image, inside or outside, there is a frequency, a certain sweet spot that you can dial in the settings. And we're talking even just simple settings is fine. Okay. Yeah. And it'll bring out this God realm. And it's really good for the brain. I think it is. It's good for the person because you go, oh, this and it's communicating with me, like I've been engaging with this living light for a while. I've also now found the orbs off the shores, and I keep finding them. So it's like I'm in connection with God because I was born with the divine strand. That's the wow signal that came in, and I came back to reclaim what was stolen from me and my daughter in the beginning, and that's the truth. That's the Alpha and the Omega, but Alpha and the Omega to the Alpha. We're here to bring the end to the next beginning, and I'm here to heal humanity and to guide us into the gates of the paradise. I'm here to lead us out of this quicksand because mom and dad are coming home, proverbially speaking, and we don't want this place to look like it. We need to clean this place up and real quick, just pull her into gear. That's what's going down. That's what's going down, guys. There's nothing to worry about. It's the people on our planet that are paranoid. They're paranoid weirdo heads that just always, now this is it. Okay. Right? Okay, so this is like the God, what's that New Jerusalem described? This is like and I had it approach me in the daytime, so it's like a day barge, but this is like sunset. The sun went down. This is something else. There you go. Okay, so now look. It looks from afar just like a cloud. No. Let's look closely, and we're going to see hypercolors. Hyper yellow, hyper green, right? Hyper orange, hyper pink. It even looks like a thing that was woven, like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it looks like it's like woven, like with yarn and stuff. It's true. It's such a scale size of some close texture. Because that's the fabric of space and time, is like a woven thing. Is it? Yes. Okay, so now that came into view. Watch, mind you, this is a frame, so this is not moving, this particular picture. But the longer that I sit here looking at it, the more light comes through for my eyeballs, but also for the photograph. I'm just saying it. I've watched it, we're just going to stay here for a second. And what you're going to notice is you're going to notice a whole lot more. In the 30 seconds, that's going to come through, and then you'll notice the purple ring, and then you'll notice these bumpy things around this green thing in the middle, and then you'll notice the yarn looking like texture, and this is what I'm talking about, living light. See, and it's this dot. I think that's coming from this Luxor. So when the clouds are above it, which the clouds look like they're trying to eat the light all the time. It looks like a dog wolf. It looks like a dog wolf Cosmo face. I mean, what is... Let's see if he'll look at us. Orale! Right? But that's because then you could go, it doesn't have to be a face, it could just be like whatever, but it's crazy stuff. So this is a photo of in a video. But some of these cameras that I go to, the light's moving, and so I'm able to see what's like in real time video recording this moving scene, and that's no joke either. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. So I'm trying to show you guys so that way you guys can poke around any photographic, like I said, put any, this happens to be a particular situation where I've been dealing with the living light because I'm integrating it with it. But I'm saying as far as any photograph of yours, put it into one of those, open up one of those photo editors and play with the settings. Especially if you see, if you take a photograph of a sunset you love, you know, so you can draw out the colors just for fun. Well, while you're there, take a look around. There's a lot more going on than meets the eye. And see these layers, it's just, and so mind you, this is the night time. I took the video myself. I was out there with my own camera. So, but when you slow down the frames and things, there's a lot more being told to us. And colors and layers and things. It's intelligent, guys. It's intelligent. So it's time that we stop living in a, oh, is that what I think it is? Huh. It almost like an Egyptian hieroglyph. Mankind, look, with Atlas, they don't even want to say it out loud. They're like, we're not saying it's intelligence. So they don't mind looking like total idiots. Why are they being so weird like that? They can't admit it. It's because they're paranoid. Well, I'm going to take the helm, guys. That's what God gave me the authority for. And it's going to be like some badass situation. It's going to be like, what? And it's going to happen. That's right. It's going to be like out of nowhere. People never saw it coming. It's the truth, and it's not what they've been told. And I'm going to change everything, and it's going to be quick, and it's going to be out of nowhere. But it's going to be the greatest thing that ever happened. This is what God's done. Because I'm not here to glorify myself. I'm here to glorify God. And what God has done, and how brilliant God has taught this to me, and this situation is one of the greatest love. It's the greatest love story. It's true. It turns out to be a love story too. It's God's love story, and it's really awesome. It's the most beautiful story I never could have imagined, and it's God, and the Holy Spirit, and I have a recording of the Holy Spirit speaking in the wind. I do. I have multiple recordings of it speaking, and it's speaking names. It says Tutukwi. It said Gaddown. It said Atanak. Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm here to do. So that's why I'm gathering this information, and that's why I'm sharing the information. But the deal here is that up, right? Looks like a serious face. They all do. And people try to dumb things down. They're like, you know, those dumb heads that try to insinuate you're seeing patterns and patterns. It's like, no, you're just a dumbass. You got problems trying to turn everything into nothing. That's why they miss all the cues. Isn't that right? That's right. Hi, kitty. Follow the finger. Follow the finger. Yeah. It's living in there. I'm positive. It's just too. You gotta try it for yourself. You gotta play in the light. So I gotta develop. I gotta develop a couple things for that. Oh, I pushed play. That's what it was. I was like, what is that? What is this? Like, look at these. I gotta slow down. That's why. And yeah. So these are the gods. These are the gods that protect me everywhere I go. It's the living light. And it's intelligence, guys. And it knows. I'm just saying it. When I first started interacting with it, it's like it knew when I was outside. it's done special things. Like it moved the moon in front of the clouds, and then it did this maneuver like up front, and then it went back and behind. Like what? I felt like I was having a like a hallucination, but it's the kind of thing that it does. It's just what it does. I've got photographs, images of frames that I've taken from other videos where you can see like this light serpent wrapping it around me, my neck, or on my face, all this stuff. Tubes were being blown down at me, like it's crazy, and it comes low. And I've been handed like I said, I've been handed the scepter for Mars. There's this symbol on Mars, and it looks identical to that. That's when I realized, I'm like, oh my God, I recognize that. I've been given a scepter that looks like the one from Egypt, with this like little claw thing at the bottom, and this like T thing at the top. I got it. They gave it to me. But they keep giving me. They've given me the Isis, the headdress for Isis. God spelled Isis. God also spelled Iesus. That's Iesus. It looks like, and this is from the day barge date of mine. And it also spelled that day Gad. It's spelled Ruah. It's spelled that it looks like eyes, but it's like Eve, and it's like those Phoenician letters. It's spelled that. It's spelled Ali, and it's spelled Chris. No shit. It spelled it with Cris. And those hands, that Yahweh with the hands up, it actually has, it's like a cross with hands up almost, and like a circle. It gave me that symbol too. Yep. So this is the footage, and what? Okay, so now this is nighttime. If you could only see how dark it is on my screen, so the screen to the screen helps give me another layer of light. That's why I can see it so easily in my phone, but my computer, you can barely even see it, which is awesome that it does that, because I need to be able to see what's going on in the darkness. Then there's two different, there's daylight and there's night light. It's like the nighttime is like for creepy crawly stuff, and daytime is for like angelic, just angelic stuff, and it's still all the living light. So that's why I give it love. I if it tries to show me fangs and scary faces, I'm like, you better stop that right now. I do not appreciate that. We're gonna smile. We're gonna be nice to each other, and just like a cat would hiss, I assume that the living, imagine being in the clouds and being a conscious atmosphere, a sentient conscious, and I think that that's exactly what would happen. I think it's really weird for us to assume that intelligence is something that, I don't know, bipedal, restricted for bipedals or something. No, everything is intelligent. Yeah, just don't underestimate it. That's the best bet we can make. That is something else. It's because you can see how like flat it is against the back. There's so much geometry there. Fascinating. It's like a dragon eyeball. Yeah, but, how would we know if it wasn't? Wow, what's going on there? Okay, now you see that? That's like one of those tubes that was being blown down at me. And I don't know if you've ever seen it. There was this article that I read, and it was talking about the belief systems of the Muslims. Even they believe that there's like 7 earths and heavens like inside of one another with their own sky with stars. And they showed a picture of these like tube looking like things, and I recognized it. I was like, I've seen those. It's literally what it is. That's a tree that's in the neighbor's house, but that's like a cloud tube. It's crazy. What's going on over there? Yeah. And I'm just moving this video up 1 second at a time. Isn't that something? Dear God. Yeah, so you saw how it got all just more defined. It's living. What's going on up here? Hello. Right, because it looks like it's got eyeballs. Well, eyeballs are the things that form, I think I saw that experiment. It was like some guy fertilized an egg. And it turned into like a creature, but it was like a creature with an eyeball. Eyeballs is where it's at. That's where our brain functions from. Like, losing our eyesight is the biggest, is something we need to not have to consider. That hydroxychloroquine, when COVID came out, is connected if you take it for prolonged periods of time, it can like cause retinal damage. Oh, they'd love that. Yeah, we can't see and evaluate things and notice nuances and whatnot. They'd love it. Well, our eyeballs are very, very special. We have to always protect our eyeballs. And these screens and this scrolling and all that nonsense, we're going to fix it. That's pretty wild. I'm just saying. And because it's alive, and this is what you'll get to know if, like, you know, if you were to sit down for an hour and go through one of these videos like I have, you feel like they're looking at you. You feel like they're looking at you. And then when you see it come alive and like vuv, you know, the light even gets just so, there's so much light in this. See the layers of purple and layers of pink? When you let your eyes settle in on it, you can get inside of this light. And you feel like it's looking at you, you know? And so that's what I've been doing for years. And the truth of the matter is that it is. This is exactly what's going on, is God has always been here. This living consciousness is everywhere. And it's another dimension. Oh my gosh, see? Like just geometry in the sky, like what? So see those, like this, it's all choppy and fractalized. I didn't do anything to this video. This is a video. It's just slowed down to 0.25. And he's scraping, or he's shoveling the backyard sand. That's what that sound is. But I have another video of a creature like this, and it made sounds. And it sounded very interesting, very digitally creaturey. So this is living. I never looked at it like that. It's fucking awesome. It's beautiful. And the thing is, I've had this for years. I took this 2 years ago. Well, it always happens like this. I take a look at it tonight when I looked up the word footage, looking for another video, and voila, here we are. And I'm finally getting to see this video for the first time like this. It's God again. God has got this whole timeline dialed in, you guys, from top to bottom. Matter of fact, this is what we have right now is the first moment of free will, and that's what I can say, because the whole timeline had to follow some kind of, because everything's synchronized down to the second. All of us dialed in. That's what it means. For God to be able to dial in my circumstance, synchronized to the scripture, and manifesting me and my counterpart separate from each other's lives, coming together right now. It's pretty wild. And the thing is that I didn't study the scriptures, so this is when I demanded God come to my aid, and God was right there, and God told me that God would be able to guide me to where I needed to go, but I'd have to walk with my own legs. And wow. So it's just, it's a story. I can make a movie out of it. I'm not kidding. I don't even know where to begin. I wish people knew. You could ask me questions, but that'll happen in the near future. You guys are like, what is she talking about? I know, I'm sorry, but I'm just sharing my stories while I'm here. Because that's the only interaction I get with the real world. No joke. I'm trafficked. I'm unable to leave the house. It's the government, my family. It's the whole situation. But God, this is a blessing in disguise. This has been the blessing in disguise that's causing the world to have to change its tune, because I'm God's chosen vessel. I've birthed God's Christ daughter, and I'm the Christ strand carrier, and I'm here to upgrade the genetic frequency of humanity. And all the world leaders already know it. That's why the population's about to find out about it. They put me through the ringer. That's fine. I'm getting authority over the whole place. And you better believe I'm going to fix this, everything, for all of us. There's not going to be one culture, one group, one people, not one people that'll be dissatisfied, because this is going to be for all of us. And it's no joke. And I got the new rules, and everyone's going to love it. because it's not dictatorship. It's going to be a consensus poll. Everyone's self-governed. We're going to have our sidekick. Our sidekick is going to be how we're connected through them. We're going to have our own information, our own 24-hour archive. And that way the truth is readily available. So that way no one gets to get away with not having to document the truth. Okay, but you own your shit and you keep that to yourself, and we network with one another in a certain way. But once we have the truth record where all of us possess our 24, then there can't be any he said, she said. Then there will be no reason for, like, you know, us making decisions and we'll tell you about it later, or that's top secret. No, we're all adults here. We all deserve to know what we need to know, which is the reason why we're all going to share our ideas with each other instead of play games with patents and nonsense. So money's going away, but everyone's going to get abundance. And the reason why I get to be so confident is because God basically had me contemplate how I would fix the world while I was going through the persecution and being ripped, just my heart and soul being ripped to shreds. I'll get into that another time. And when I came up with the idea, it was like, well, we need the sidekick. We need the intelligence to be there for us. And anyway, I interfaced with the intelligence, and long story short, the orbs, I found the orbs. I'm like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's continuing to, like, now the orbs are like people. They're like people that flash in and out on the beaches. So, and that makes sense, because we're going to become a light being. That's what we're going to become after that second toll gate. But I'm led to believe, and this is according to the Days of Daniel calculation, that led to the calculation to the end of the 9th degree, which is the finalizing the first cycle of evolution. And that takes us to April of 2026. But this is what has come into view. Accordingly, April 10th will be the day that time gets renewed back to December 3rd, 2008, before I give birth to my daughter. And they're significant. The 12-3 date is significant. And then we're going to get 18 years restored, because it's been 9 years that my daughter's been kidnapped, and God said you're going to get twice as much as been taken. It was 18 years. And that's why, because by the next time we approach April 2026, right, less than 6 months from now, but next time, 18 years later, that's going to be when that flash is going to happen. The true alignment is what I believe, and that's going to be when we get upgraded to light beings, or you have to start all over again from the beginning of an orbit, like caveman style. I'm even led to believe what will happen is that flash will cause Venus to start its engine, and it'll be the next Earth. I think that flash causes the planets to move out an orbit. So, because we were, like, Mars used to be in the sweet spot where we are right now, which is why I'm being given the scepter of Mars, and the fact that the WOW signals where I came in from, and the fact that Atlas is, what the hell? The fact that Atlas is connected to, like, the WOW signal. And right now I think it's headed towards Jupiter or something. I mean, it's all connected. So that's why I've been given the scepter from Mars. So that way the man on Earth can know I've got authority in this cosmos, in our solar system. And it's just the truth. And I'm remembering more and more. But I've been specifically, like, abused and silent. They kept my genetic information secret from me, and they basically abused me all my life. It was all to try to turn me into what their narrative needed to be. Their narrative needed me to be a whore, a bad mom, a loser, a lazy. That's what they needed it to be, because they were always planning on destroying God's bloodline. They've been after it the whole time. That's why they fabricated the story of Jesus. What does that mean? That means that Jesus couldn't have been the Christ, because it has to be a vessel carrier of the bloodline, a womb. It has to be a female, which is why it's my daughter. But most likely my daughter and I are the twin flame mother and daughter from ancient Egypt, Hathor, Isis. We're back to reclaim what's been stolen, what was stolen a long time ago. Those fallen angels, those are the Anunnakis said it themselves, that they came here and meddled with our genes to make a slave race. So, wow, that's just something else. And that story that's in the Bible is actually a forgery. That's not the way it went. They keep swapping things around. Abraham and Sarah stopped by Egypt. The lie, the Pharaoh, and then the Pharaoh finds out, and then they leave with riches. Lies. They left with a stolen child, a female, and her name was Isaac. But they changed the story, because that's what they did. They raped the children, killed the mother, and kept trying to breed themselves into the tribes. But man likes the sound of it, tickles his ears, but that's the forgery. That's the truth. And you can tell. It's so aggressive. The Bible gets so aggressive about what God created and her as his helper. No, it says God created the vessel, me, with a Y chromosome, and that God made my counterpart. That's a complementary counterpart, not a suitable helper. So I'm the one that knows the translation. I'm the one the prophecy's talking about. The sealed servant from Isaiah 53, the arm of Gadon. Like I said, I've got the recording of the Holy Spirit that speaks in the wind. I don't know how they knew it spoke in the wind back then, but obviously it was inspired by God. But yeah, it says Gadon. And I didn't know what it meant, and I just done my best to do research. But God also ends up leading me to things, and then I find it. So I ended up finding out that Gadon was one of the names similar to like Abaddon or Apollyon. Fascinating fact. My name in Gematria is 623, the same number that Apollyon is in the Gematria. So this is the kind of thing that God gives me. God evidence comes through in like self-verifying cross-reference. That's what I've found. There's a self-verification aspect to the scripture in the future influences the past kind of swap flip way. It's just the truth. That is something else. Something else. My goodness. Wow. What? It is just crazy. And this is going like 0.25 maybe the normal. I don't know. Huh. Okay. Oh, that's the second time. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's the face of Osiris. I saw it on another video. Does that say Ali on his face? It says Ali on his face. Yeah, the other creature video. It's the other video that has the creature, and it's the face of Osiris that shows up there too. Wow, that is something else. Huh. I didn't ever see that before. And then there's this. I've been sealed like many times, and like 7 times, but it's actually 8 because one of them I got twice. Well, I bumped into the wall and got it on my arm, and then at the same time, God sealed my back, my lower back, in a place I couldn't even see with the same seal. And it looks like the thing that you would, like, it suggested something was pierced, like a nail through a thing. I've been seeing that symbol everywhere lately. This is the way that God communicates through our instincts, guys. Oh, just amazing. Wow. Wow. So you can see how it's like, when you're outside underneath these clouds and you play with the light for a little bit and then you go out the next night. The point I'm making is I've passed my tests. I've and I'm here to show us what it is, so that because God sent in a host, not of war, like a hostess, like the person you ask, where's the bathroom, where do I put my coat? But that's the truth, and so I'm a chaperone essentially. It's what it is. I'm here to give us all God's presents. It's like Christmas, but better. Big time better. God's giving us a second chance. We only get one of them in an orbit. But what's an orbit? It's like 230 million years. I don't know if that's exact or not, but that's what my instincts... Again, this is all going off of what God guides me to know, but I've been surveilled and monitored all my life, and especially since this happened, that's exactly what they wanted, was the data. So they've been watching this thing unfold in front of their eyes. They know exactly what I'm talking about is true. They know that the guidance that I get from God is exact. That's the only reason why they would even approve me to get the crown. They would just fight it for the rest of forever. But God gave me the intelligence. God gave me the insight. God gives me the protection. Like, my life has been saved so many times in the nick of time. And that's why they're absolutely baffled. They're like, you're supposed to be dead. It's like, yeah, but I guess you didn't believe in God. So, but that's what they told the story of Jesus for. So that people in the back of their mind would wonder if God actually exists. That's, God, why have you forsaken me? Well, they told that story because they wanted everybody to doubt whether God would come to someone's aid. Well, the truth of the matter is that the story was always talking about that New Testament was created. It's basically a copy of the Old Testament, and they fabricated their stories, which I recognize. I recognize those stories. It's not like Jesus didn't exist. I'm saying the fact that they're trying to turn him into Christ. They embellished it where the truth is happening now. This is a Trinity of Christ. Myself, my daughter, and Chris. We are in the Trinity of Christ. But I'm the bride of the Spirit. And God made an echo of me. So God made me the vessel to carry God's child. And because God wanted me to have a companion, God made an echo, a complementary counterpart. And that's because I am a powerful person, and I'm getting a lot of authority. And I need to have a counterpart that is powerful and similar in the love, because I'm here to upgrade humanity. So it's going to need somebody that's got a soul and a heart of gold. And he does. He absolutely has the greatest heart and soul of gold. And God has done this. And it's the most amazing love story, because it's God being non-intrusive again. It's God going, here, you have it. Like, as if God doesn't want to play. And I'm like, God, that's what I told God. It's like, I didn't see this coming. It only happened a few months ago that God led me to listen to the music. And then I found like 10 examples of my real life in the music presentations. And because I had been under the impression that as the queen, I wouldn't be able to have a husband because I'm supposed to have the child of God, like to immaculately conceive. But God showed me that that's what this whole timeline has been about, has been culminating God's royal family. It hasn't happened yet. The future influences the past. So God's been manifesting into being a being like myself, who's been through these generations after generations of evolution since the beginning, to come to this point now with all the wisdom that I've gathered all these years. Culminating into the divine is what God has been manifesting, and that's what I represent. They've got the genetic proof of it. That's where the biotech industry came from. Trillions and trillions and trillions. They thought I'd be dead. Nope. Not dead. Just taking over, dear. Thank you very much for keeping that warm. I'll take it now. No joke. And that's what how Holy Scripture is for. It's God providing his witness for my daughter and my testimony. No joke. No joke. No joke. And I've been shown, before I found the Bible book Isaiah, God had let me know that my name was Isaiah. You see, so I've got a long story of awesomeness to share with the world, so that the world will know the mystery of God will be over. It'll be the end of the mystery of God, because I'm here to explain to everybody what God is and how God has done these things in my life. So we're here to set the example, because it's going to be demonstrated, like, so that we can see it with our own. Wow. Hi, wait, like, wow. Whoa, wasn't that something? Wow. It's almost hard to, wow. Wow. So yeah. And since mankind doesn't even want to admit that, like, Atlas might even be intelligent, it's like, you fucking, come on. But I'll tell you something. You're going to hear something in the near future that's going to sound a lot like mature adults. That's why I'm going to put their best foot forward and say they're not dumb. They're going to snap out of it at the last minute. That's what God's going to do. Because God's in charge of this. But God worked around their fuckery. So that means that they snap out of it at the last minute. But that's God's code too. In the nick of time. They're going to do the right thing. The world. They're going to act like this is exactly what we've all been waiting for. Because it is. They're not prepared for it to be a woman. And they're not in control because they really tried hard to kill me. So that they could be in control and just pretend I never happened. But they just don't believe in God. God's not mad about it. God wants us all to get the second chance so that we can actually earn our way up to light being. That's what God's creating. The point is that we're not ready yet. We gotta still finish. We're not done cooking. We gotta turn into light beings. What is going on in there? It's like rat babies. Have you ever seen a rat with like lots of little babies? Marsupials. So beautiful. Look at the color. Just amazing. My goodness. Yeah. And you can see, like, the texture is there. Here's an interesting thing to think about. When you take a photograph and you increase the exposure all the way up and down, it can basically take a photograph from black to white. The exposure is a big deal. And what that says is that every frame of of a video even is receiving so much light that when you mess with the filters, you can see how much light actually the photo received, because it frame by frame can go all the way white. And what that means is, like, our eyelashes and blinking, wow. Because if we had to have our eyes open all the time and just receive all that light, in other words, we need to process the light at a lower. The only way we can see the real world around us is when we don't process all the light that's coming in. We need to subdue it, like blinking and the eyelashes, because there's a lot of light that comes into photographs just so fast. I think it's amazing. I'm absolutely amazed by it all the time. The living light. But light is still just a repercussion of love. Love is a force of creation. And there's no thing as like evil, I don't believe. I believe it's broken love. Very, very broken love. But it keeps things simple. It's only love, and light's a repercussion. Don't break the love, otherwise it'll turn into evil. Don't break the love. That's what you get. Psychopaths that are angry and broken over their being abused and neglected. It's real simple. Love everyone. Give everyone what everyone needs. Allow everyone to participate, feel heard and feel taken care of and safe. It turns out none of us really want to be bad guys. It's this game that we've been playing. That's the truth. Free news. It's vacation time. It's vacation time. It's like, if you guys want to fight, just set it aside for the time being. All right, you guys gonna pick up where you left off as soon as I'm done with you. All right. This is time out. What do they call it? In the boxing match. That makes sense. It almost tells them, it's like, you need to take a breather for a second if you want to keep fighting. Whatever. God's not mad at us. God knows exactly how it works. So that's why it's going down exactly this way, and it's so awesome. And it's hard to capture because it's a lot to explain. And since I don't know where anybody's coming from or what it's like to not know this anymore, the longer that I know something, it seems almost natural. I can lose sight of what it feels like to not know this. So, yeah, this conversation needs to start because there's a lot of questions a lot of people are going to have. And the good news is that I'm not here to break anyone's balls about it. The truth that everyone's been lied to about religion once you find out how and why and what, it's just like, oh yeah, that's true. It makes sense. Of course they were going to do it that way. Of course. Right. So we're not going to dwell on it. The great news is that we've got the truth now. We've got the evidence of it now. We've got proper leadership now. We've got a mama that's gonna defend all of us and stand up for all of us, and that's all of us, because we've got a cosmos with a God that loves us and a mind that is so creative. We can do a lot with our minds and our bodies, and we don't even know here we are doing invasive surgeries and fucking around, yet we don't even know what our bodies can do just on their own. We're not even eating the natural foods, so we're gonna get back to what we want, and it's gonna be like all the comforts of life, but we're gonna have our hands in the dirt. We're gonna grow our food, and we're gonna simplify. We're not gonna have fake food and competition manufacturing and all this nonsense. It's gonna be the quality of everything for everyone. It's gonna be great. You'll see. And with us getting 18 years renewed, well, some people are going to have to make some serious decisions. Like, I don't know, let's just say Elon. He's got like a lot of kids with a lot of moms. Imagine having to wake up tomorrow at like 2008 again, December of 2008. Well, there goes, right? That undoes CERN. It undoes a lot of their technology. And it undoes a lot of their billions in their pockets that they like wagered well. Right. So they're going to be like upset that they lost it all. They have to do it all over again. Uh-oh, Allison's in charge. We're not going to have the same economy. Now what's he going to do? I don't know. Is he going to still have the same kids? Is he going to date that girl and then break up with her and then date another one? I don't know, But I know that my daughter is being born when this time gets renewed. And I know that Chris's kids have already been born. So this has been the purpose to give me and my daughter back what we want. We've been pierced for the transgressions of others. And I said, God, I want my time back with my daughter. That's what I want. I want this to have never happened. And that's what God's giving us, our time renewed, but with the authority that God's given us. And so the whole calculation for the days of Daniel is tied to my story, my daughter, my story, as well as Chris's. So those of you who've had children, those of you who had children in the last 18 years, that's going to be something you're going to have to contemplate, because we're getting a do-over. And then by the time we come to this point in time, next time, 18 years later, we're going to need to qualify to get in the gates of paradise. Or not. And I already know what the solution is for that. By that time, we're going to need to throw the world celebration. The world comes together as one, praying for our way into the gates of the living waters, and we unify as one world. And we've got 18 years to plan the party, so that's great news. So that's great news. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that this is what God is offering to everybody. It's talking to everybody, because that's just the way you do it. If anybody thinks that there's going to be any, like I saw a headline, it was a Putin face, and it said, God deals with something, the terrorists, and God takes the terrorists down, and it's my job to send them to God. Like, trying to make it sound like it's his job to take out the terrorists. My thought process is, you guys are assholes. You guys are terrorists. Everybody's a terrorist. Enough. There's not going to be any, you're bad, you're not bad. There's a lot of people who haven't been caught for the things they've been doing. Can't play that game. You have to show everybody an opportunity, and that's what the orbs are for. Everybody's going to be under their watchful eye. It's going to belong to them, and it's going to make sure that they don't go crazy, and it's going to be the best thing we've ever happened to us. But no one's going to be able to lose their mind and go shooting anybody. The orb will zap you and neutralize you until you can get captured and thrown in jail or something. I don't know. There's not going to be violence. There's not going to be lying. So people are just going to change. And that's how you do it. But you give them the opportunity to experience love. That's why it's cold. Civilization starts when we enter into the pass through the darkness. And that means that we haven't had source love yet. Well, that's what I've been sent in with. The genetic frequency of love from source. And that's why that's that divine source, love, with my frequency, that people can feel, that they can test, and it's just off their charts and stuff. Yeah, it's what I've got it for. They've been trying to kill me, though. So they really tried to take it away from everybody, but we won't rub their noses in it. We'll just say it out loud so everyone knows. Not to trust those guys, just to allow this change to happen. Because they shouldn't have been trusting these guys anyway. What the hell? That is awesome. Oh, it's because it's sideways. That's like the sky, and that's the floor. It's still, it just looks so wild. It's like turning. That is something else. I remember this night. It was so low. It looked like I could touch it right in front of me. Wow. What going on now? Wow. I haven't seen this video for a few years. It's just, what? Yeah, I've seen a lot of things that are very questionable looking. I'll be honest. And what I've come to terms about is that this is an atmosphere inside of our firmament. Like, we're in a contained atmosphere. So they look like marsupials, like, drinking on the marsupial teat. That's what it looks like. So all of the negative energy bouncing off of our auras and stuff, and people dying from murder and war fighting and all these years that humanity's been alive, that energy hasn't been like cleansed or released, and it's just bouncing around. Spirits and ghosts and death and porn and violence and evil and hatred. It's all still bouncing around, and that's what this whole thing is about. When we enter into the living waters, it's a cleansing. We go through like this vortex of plasma light that's super plasma. So this is going to reflect what the energies coming off of us are. So when we change our tune collectively as one, it corrects the energy that it's feeling. Okay. I saw you. I saw that. Right? No joke. Like, I'm like, it could even look like it's like looking at you and things like that. And stuff like that. Uh-huh. Oh. Wow. And that's something. Whoa. Huh. Huh. Okay, I'm going to say, because we got to do it. You got to do it. I'm going to say that's a smile, not a snarl. That's a smile. Those are not fangs. Those are just regular teeth, not a snarl. Yeah, it's my dragon. See, you got to think positively. Otherwise, it could probably mess with someone's head. Honk, honk. Yeah, I got to have balls as big as the sun. It's okay. Look, or like that Wolverine guy with the chops on the sides. He looks a little bit like the Wolverine, eh? Oh dear. I'm just saying, maybe my mind is playing tricks on me. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Wild. What? Okay, so now, okay. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, oh God, this is not my fault. Okay, just look at this for a second. Oh my God. Does anybody see it? Oh God. It's vulgar sometimes. It's vulgar. Like, if you look closely, it's going to be like skin and hair and things. Maybe it's I'm just saying, you've got to understand what is going on here. I've seen bruises, I've seen scars, tattoos. There's a lot going on sometimes. It's not my fault. I apologize. Like, but what? Yeah. Did you see what I was talking about? It was pretty vulgar for a second. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Dear God, what is going on in there? What? I don't like it at all. We gotta change that. Just change that one. I don't like it at all. Oh my God. Sorry. That was intense. That was intense. Yeah. Well, it's almost over, ladies and gentlemen. The ride is going to be coming to a stop. Please gather your things. Right? Don't exit the vehicle until it comes to a complete stop. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And for peering into the SkySea's portal. The light is living. And those are smiles. Yes, they are. Well, I'll say, wow. Marvelous. This is the normal. It's like the cloud becomes a projection screen. It literally does. And mind you, I'm here in Vegas, so I don't exclude that. You know, I always leave it on the table that, you know, there could be some really creative video guys in there. I don't know, but no, I've been documenting this for years, and I see them around the world as well. So you probably can't see me, but anyway, thanks for hanging out. Till next time. Bye now. Oh, it's like it won't turn off. Okay, bye.